We are so glad you could join us tonight for Troop Organizer training. This year has a new virtual feel, but will provide the same resources and support as past years. My name is Nicole Dalton, and I will be your facilitator this evening with the help of Courtney Grady and Christina Bresnan. I want to also note that this training is going to be recorded and the chat log is going to be saved. I am one of the 2 senior managers, and I work with the volunteers and CEMs in districts 1, 6, 7, 9, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I've been with Girl Scouts for almost 12 years and started in a role very similar to the CEM. I am going to facilitate the evening with Courtney and Christina. Courtney, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, you guys can hear me right. I was on mute, that's why I nodded at first. Well, my name is Courtney Grady, and I am Senior Manager for Community Engagement, and I supervise the other half that Nicole doesn't supervise, which will be districts 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11, and 14. I have been with Girl Scouts, it will be 5 years on August 3rd. I started out as Girl Scouts Beyond Bars Community Troop Coordinator. I did that for about 3.5, almost 4 years. And I've been in this current role for about a year now.
Great. And Christina, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Certainly. My name, again, is Christina Bresnan. I'm the Director of Membership Development and Support for GSEM. I work very closely with Nicole and Courtney over the community engagement piece. I have been with Girl Scouts for, as an employee for just over a year. Courtney and I started about the same time, but I was a Girl Scout until 6th grade. And I was also a cookie manager for my older daughter's troop for 5 years before I started working for Girl Scouts. So we're so happy to have you all.
Excellent. So at this time, we are going to ask that all participants use the chat to introduce themselves to the group. If you can include your name, the school you are affiliated with, the school district it belongs to, and the Girl Scout district, as well as years of experience in this role, that would be wonderful. And Courtney will help out with taking attendance with that chat log. Certificates will be provided for attendees, and a follow-up email will be sent early next week. The training and recruitment resources and assets will be posted on our site as well. Tonight, we will have our main presentation with breakout session discussions following. We understand that time is precious, and we are going to ask that you use the chat for questions you might have during the presentation. We're going to answer as many as we can given our time, and then we'll follow up to the answers that we don't get to with our follow-up email and an FAQ. As a troop organizer, you are a key player in bringing the Girl Scout experience to life for girls and adults in the area. We really recognize that this year it might look a little different, and we are committed to providing you the resources and support to be successful. We want to thank you, and we value and celebrate your dedication and joining us for a new membership year. During this training, we will explore the role of a troop organizer, discuss the different types of events available during recruitment season, and what a successful recruitment night looks like. We'll also explore what typically happens after the recruitment nights. The breakout sessions will include the Daisy Dropbox and virtual recruitment nights. For brand new TOs last night, we also covered new leader onboarding and table setup. And for volunteers this evening with more experience in this role, we're going to discuss spring re-registration and school events. First, we want to look at the troop organizer role. The position description for this role provides an in-depth look at the position, but I would like to do a quick overview. The TO works very closely with the community engagement manager and neighborhood manager to address the needs and concerns of the school. This may be recruitment or retention related. Your CEM and neighborhood manager can help host a booth, hand out stickers at lunch, and help with recruitment night or the additional follow-up. Creating a partnership within the community is key to the success of promoting recruitment events. Working with park members to post yard signs, small businesses to post flyers, and schools to host information booths are just some examples of what these relationships could look like. The TO schedules, promotes, organizes, and facilitates Girl Scout registration events within an assigned area or school. They ensure new members are registered and existing troops have been re-registered before October 1st. They also may assist the new troop leader in planning a parent meeting, the first troop meeting, and maintains consistent communication with them throughout the year. In the recruitment playbook that you received, you'll find the 7 steps to success that helps outline what the TO role looks like during recruitment season. TOs will meet with the community engagement manager and neighborhood manager to discuss recruitment strategy. They will schedule recruitment nights, request supplies, and decide on activity details. They will also recruit volunteers to assist. These can be volunteers from the school, the community engagement manager, the neighborhood manager, or older girls in the area as well. The TO will distribute flyers 1 week prior to the event or coordinate with the CEM to get the flyer posted to Peach Jar. Posting yard signs in the area, conducting lunch talks or classroom chats with stickers, and posting flyers in the community will help you promote the event. After the event, you will need to report your recruitment night results by sending an electronic copy to the CEM within 24 hours of the event. Finally is follow-up with the new leader and any families that didn't get registered that night. Also, an invite to the new leader for the next neighborhood meeting. Registration and re-registration is another important role for the TO. Recruitment night success includes registering a new kindergarten Daisy troop. For re-registration, success includes troops completely re-registered by October 1st. Registration can be done online that night, by paper form, or by phone. The Answer Center is here to help with this process. The cost of membership should not stand in the way of any girl or adult participating in Girl Scouts. Financial aid is available with just a click of a box at registration checkout. Along with recruiting your new leaders, we ask that troop organizers help with onboarding these volunteers and maintaining communication. During recruitment night, you will be able to get your new leader started with their very first Daisy drop box. When you pick up your recruitment materials, it will include a Daisy drop box starter box. When your new leader completes his or her registration that night, you can hand them the box and indicate this on your sign-in sheet. The leader must register before getting the box. We ask that you help navigate her or him to the new leader portal, which provides additional resources for parent meetings, bank accounts, and training. Please personally invite them to the neighborhood meeting and offer assistance with the first parents or troop meeting. Now that we've explored the role of the troop organizer, let's dive into events. Promotional events occur before the official recruitment night and are essential to getting the word out. These types of events could be at the school, like open house, meet the teacher night, kindergarten orientation, or parent-teacher conferences. They can also take place in the community, like city day events, farmers markets, or end-of-the-year summer camps. Parent-caregiver discovery nights have a similar setting and focus on recruiting from one school, church, or group. Large information events are held to invite girls from multiple schools to form troops. These still typically break down to smaller groups of schools or grades after the larger presentation is completed. Virtual recruitment nights are new and are another way to reach parents. These can be used if schools are not allowing in-person meetings after school, or if a follow-up event is needed to be successful at starting a troop. We're going to dive into the structure of this event during one of our breakout sessions. Our attendance and success at recruitment night is directly affected by the promotion of our events. Along with the items that were provided last year in your troop organizer bags, we have some brand new items to share. Here is our new Save the Date flyers. These are half-sheet handouts that can be used at open house, back to school, or community events. The traditional flyers will then be used 1 week prior to the event and passed out through school or peach jar. Our new open house sign-in sheets can be utilized during these promotional events as well. Parents can indicate that they are interested in attending recruitment night and request reminders or follow-up for the events. The Why Girl Scouts handout comes with English on the front and Spanish on the back. They can be used to hand out at promotional events in place of the larger parent engagement piece, which is quite a few pages. This information is also printed on the back side of recruitment flyers and as you saw on the back of the Save the Date as well. New this year are these fun recruitment flyers that feature an animal for the younger girls and a more social media look for older girls. The younger girl flyer allows her to have a special ticket to the recruitment night animal dance party and encourages her to bring a friend, or she can make one there. We also have new stickers that follow the same color scheme for our flyers. These can be used during lunch chats or classroom chats and in the community. We will be utilizing the online link again this year for material requests. This link will be emailed out with our follow-up email early next week. You will receive a TO bag and a daisy drop box with your requests for recruitment flyers and additional items. The link will be open on July 13th, and items will be available starting July 31st. Pickup is going to be available at the council office or by coordinating with your community engagement manager. Many of these staff members will be setting up office hours in their community and districts at local coffee shops or libraries to make sure that pickup is more convenient for our volunteers. We will also offer contactless pickup at either of these locations. Now that we've explored our role as TO, types of events and promotional items, let's dive into what success looks like at recruitment night. Success at recruitment night involves starting a new kindergarten daisy troop, securing the leadership and support for that new troop, and placing interested families of older girls in existing troops. We want to give that daisy drop box to our new leader that night once she or he has registered. Please ensure that each parent or guardian attending the event signs in that night and provide a copy of this sheet to your CEM within 24 hours of the event. Providing the new leader contact information to the new manager will ensure that volunteer gets connected with any social media pages and meetings and events for the neighborhood. Supporting the volunteers and girls in your school or organization is the next step for troop organizers after a successful recruitment night. Notifying the neighborhood manager when you have created your new troop is essential to the onboarding process for our new leader. Ensuring that the new leader makes it to the first neighborhood meeting is vital to his or her success in the organization. Troop leaders have reported that having a connection with their local volunteers and a network support system in their troop are the reasons why they feel successful in their role. Many times we see families attend recruitment night but don't quite make it to the registration process. In collaboration with your CEM, we can ensure that each of these families get registered after attending recruitment. Our Looker software is able to provide us a report that states new in the last 2 weeks. It's a very helpful report that can keep us up on these registrations. Your CEM can help follow up with parents or guardians. Many schools host their own events or community service projects throughout the year. This creates a sense of community within those troops and helps build the relationship with the school. Events can be a hat and glove drive in the winter or a swap event after school. We are now going to break out to our additional sessions, which will be facilitated by myself, Courtney, and Christina. All TOs will be provided more details on the DAISY Dropbox and the virtual recruitment events. And tonight, we are going to hear more details on hosting school events and providing support during spring re-registration and recruitment. So at this time, I'm going to pass it over to Christina, and she is going to walk us through the DAISY Dropbox. Christina?
Thanks, Nicole. I saw lots of questions in the chat already. It seems everyone is super excited about DAISY Dropbox, and I'm so excited to share all of the information about it. Again, my name is Christina, and I'm your Director of Membership for GSEM and your host for this session. It's a great year to be a Girl Scout, so let's jump in. Next slide, please. As a volunteer-led organization, your feedback is critical to our mission to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. One of my favorite quotes is by Stephen D. Levitt. The key to learning is feedback. It is nearly impossible to learn anything without it. Many of you have participated in our annual membership engagement survey, Voices Count. Each year, we review all of your feedback from Voices Count to evaluate GSEM's programming. Feedback from the 2019 membership year survey helped us listen to troop leaders to pinpoint concerns for new DAISY troop leaders. You told us loud and clear you wanted simpler solutions to delivering Girl Scout programming, and voila, the DAISY Dropbox was born. Next slide, please. We know when members have a positive experience and feel supported, they're more likely to deepen their level of engagement within our organization. Many take on additional leadership roles throughout the organization, like your role of troop organizer, maybe even neighborhood manager or district chair. GSEM is committed to hearing feedback and improving experiences and overall satisfaction for our members. Membership year 2019 at a glance was our DAISY Dropbox pilot year. 228 new DAISY leaders opted into the free of charge DAISY Dropbox program to serve 2,331 girls throughout our council. The subscription provided programming for 2 meetings per month, including a facilitation guide for the leader and supplies for 10 girls. This program concept was developed directly from troop leader feedback and is foundationally anchored on that feedback as well. Each month, troop leaders completed a 5-question survey to continue their subscription. Our focus group sessions of DAISY Dropbox participants throughout our pilot told us we were on the right track and gave candid feedback on everything from materials, activities, and even the end-of-month surveys. Next slide, please. As we are wrapping up our traditional Girl Scout year, I'm excited to share with you the results of our pilot year for DAISY Dropbox. Our volunteer-led DAISY troops increased by 6.6% over the previous year. Last year, our council is one of the few throughout our movement that saw an increase in formation of DAISY troops. The best news yet is our DAISY troop leaders that participated felt more confident to lead their troops. At GSEM, we know volunteer support is important to the success of any program. With this in mind, we created our DAISY Dropbox program manager position. Pam Johnson is our subject matter expert on all things DAISY Dropbox. She communicates directly with DAISY troop leaders each month and will be providing virtual support for troop leaders this year as well. Be sure to check out her supplemental video on DAISY Dropbox following this session. She'll give you a sneak peek on what's inside the DAISY Dropbox. Next slide, please. For recruitment this year, we're excited to get starter Daisy drop boxes into the hands of our troop organizers to form new Daisy troops. Each TO will receive one starter Daisy drop box per school served to recruit the new Daisy leader. Once the leader is registered as the troop leader, the starter box may be issued to the leader. As Nicole stated earlier, be sure to check the box on the sign-in sheet that the Daisy drop box was issued before you turn in the sign-in sheet to your CEM. New Daisy troops must have 2 registered, unrelated, background-checked adults serving in the leader and co-leader role, and 5 girls to continue to participate in the Daisy Dropbox subscription program. Next slide, please. We know our troop leaders need lots of support, not only to get started, but to keep going, especially this year with some of the challenges we have experienced with face-to-face interactions. Many of you have been dedicated TOs for a number of years, and we can't thank you enough for your dedication. Rightly so, you know the next steps like the back of your hand. So be sure to share with the new troop leader your very best tips on forming their troop with new girls and other parent volunteers, such as the cookie manager, scheduling and hosting a parent meeting, and facilitating their first meeting with their new troop. Need support to host virtual troop meetings? No problem. Virtual support resources can be found on our microsite, gsemtogether.org, with step-by-step user guides to get started. Don't forget to remind the troop leader to fill out the survey to receive the next month's box. Next slide, please. In closing, here are some of the testimonials from actual Daisy Dropbox participants during our pilot. One troop leader said, "Coming from a brand new leader who was not in Girl Scouts as a kid, the Daisy Dropbox was the only thing that convinced me to jump into this role, and it did not disappoint. Thank you." I think this definitely takes the pressure off the leader. It can be very challenging and overwhelming for a new leader to be responsible for planning activities and events. It's nice to know how exactly to run a troop meeting during this first year. This box is awesome. I felt confident conducting the meeting because of it. It was also great to receive the supplies for the meeting. Next slide, please. So it looks like we have just a few minutes for questions. I'm going to go ahead and check the chat.
Christina, I've been writing down a couple of the Daisy Dropbox ones, so I'll throw out some of the questions. I think you answered some of them, but just to reiterate the answers in case people missed it. Will the Daisy Dropbox be available at recruitment to hand straight to the new leader?
The answer is yes, absolutely. And we are so excited to get these boxes into the hands of our TOs. Absolutely.
Excellent. And how about a school that traditionally starts more than one Daisy troop? Will they have access to more than one Daisy Dropbox?
Absolutely. We thought that piece through too. Nicole will send out a link for you to request your recruitment materials, and it will give you the option to select more than one box if you need one. Yep.
Great. And then a couple of questions are related to different program levels. Are there plans for a Daisy or a Dropbox that is related to other age levels like brownies and juniors?
Those pieces are still under consideration. Since Daisy Dropbox was in its pilot year last year, we did decide to support second year Daisy troops with the Daisy Dropbox. So we're really excited about this opportunity, and we'll see what the results hold. So I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes.
Thank you so much. I think that is all of our Daisy Dropbox questions. So we will move right into virtual recruitment. Excellent. So new this year is the option for virtual recruitment nights. I noticed in the chat there's quite a few conversations going about what will happen if schools do not allow us to be in the buildings this fall. So new this year is our option for virtual recruitment nights, along with some other options that, that we will discuss at more of a local level with our TOs. We have created a presentation that can be used for recruitment or as a follow-up parent meeting to secure a troop with leadership. I'm going to walk you through what the meeting will look like. First, you're going to introduce yourself, including your years of Girl Scouting, what you do as a troop organizer, and your favorite program or event. The families will then have an opportunity to do the same and provide some feedback on why they came to recruitment. During this time, you will want to complete the sign-in sheet by asking the families to provide their contact information in the chat log, very similar to what we are doing this evening. When you're using the Zoom platform, you can save the log instead of worrying about writing everything down at the same time. The next step is introduce the girl activity for the event. The cybersecurity activity will have the girls use materials around the home to wrap their treasure up nice and tight. They can pick a treasure that is special to them and a box that it fits into. They can use wrapping, tissue, or construction paper, fabric pieces, string, ribbon, or anything else that they can find around the house. They will wrap the box with as many layers as they want and use as many different materials as they have on hand. They may also need some scissors, tape, or glue, markers, or string to help along. The girls can be working on this activity while the parents or guardians are discussing Girl Scouting. As the girls work on their project, the parent discussion can begin. We can use this time to explain our mission and law, which is what guides our programs and our curriculum. Using our updated fact sheet, you can discuss the programs that we offer, including how many members we serve, our camp program, the April Showers Drive, and providing service in our community. This also gives an opportunity to explain our highest awards, our robotics teams, and program focus areas with STEM, money management, and health. Next up is an explanation of what it means to be in a Girl Scout troop. We can dive into how troops are created, what requirements we have for adults in troops, meeting frequency, and location. This is also a great time to discuss programs as badges, as well as financing their experiences. Parents and guardians are going to want to know what badges the girls will be earning and what that will look like. We have included some examples here, but please feel free to discuss specific badges that you have earned recently, as well as to provide a more personal touch to this slide. As you can see, we have used the new leader calendar in the virtual recruitment presentation. This resource is not only helpful to the new leader, but also gives the parents and guardians an outline of what to expect after recruitment night. Introducing the new leader portal provides the parents with insight on how to find additional resources, and more importantly, how we support our volunteers. We also want to set up the expectation of training during this presentation, as well as to ensure that training is completed within 90 days. One of the many great benefits of virtual recruitment is the ability to walk each participant through the registration process. All attendees will be on a device that can also be used for registration. We have written out the steps here for guidance. This would also be a great time to discuss who is going to be holding each role in the troop and coordinate how to get the new leader her daisy Dropbox. Now that everyone is registered and ready to go in their new troop, the girls can present their boxes and answer some fun questions regarding the project. You can then conclude the meeting with answering any questions from the parents and setting up the first parent meeting to discuss next steps. All right, so now I am going to send it over to Courtney, who is going to discuss some school events. Courtney?
Once again, I am Courtney Grady, and I will be going over school events. I'll just be giving a quick overview of some of the events or some of the different events we can use throughout recruitment and throughout the schools. Next slide, please. So there are benefits to the events. Events can create a stronger community presence and connection amid Girl Scout families. Girls enjoy meeting other sister Girl Scouts in the area. The events provide older girls with opportunities to plan and host events while working toward leadership and service awards. Events inspire girls to continue growing through Girl Scouts. And the most important thing of events, they are fun. Not only for the girls, but some of the adults as well. Next slide, please. So we have resources and planning. We do have a Girl Scout event planning guide and training courses. These things are available on our website. You can find these just to help you out when planning events. I know sometimes we feel like maybe planning events may be a little stressful, but in those you can have community information of community structure, health and safety, and a timeline. And there are some important things you should consider when planning an event. You should always have an event committee. You should have a site or a place or a venue in mind that you will have your event. Flyers so that you can advertise your event, so that you can have girls excited and people coming out to support your events. Budget, which including registration fees if there are some, food, supply, program supplies, site fees, and equipment. So that comes with all of your research prior to planning the event. Money earning opportunities and engaging older Girl Scouts to help. Next slide, please. We do have some main, what I like to call just main holidays, Girl Scout holidays, or things that you can think about that you can center your events around. Juliet Lowe's birthday, which is October 31st. Birthday party, you can do a community service project. Juliet Lowe Friendship Patch, or event with activities from the late 1800s and early 1900s. And it helps a little bit that that is Halloween. So a lot of people love to celebrate that, do whatever, and incorporate Juliet Lowe's birthday in that. We had a birthday party for Juliet Lowe this past October 31st. Cookie Rally, December and January. World Thinking Day, February 22nd, a World of Girl event, international food tasting, presentations or demonstrations from people who have traveled to other countries. Those are always great. Girl Scouts birthday, March 12th. It's art workshop to create Girl Scout posters for the community. Service project, Girl Scout Sunday, Girl Scouting through the years with activities from previous Girl Scout handbooks, and bridging ceremonies that usually take place in May and June. Next slide, please. Other ideas for events: family potluck dinners, ice cream social, swap meet, environmental program for Earth Day, jewelry making, afternoon tea party, fishing event at a local pond or lake, he and me dance, power puff derby, park cleanup. And I just also want you to keep in mind that all of the events should be girl-led. I know that sometimes we like to kind of give the girls the ideas, but everything should be girl-led because, of course, we are a girl-led organization. Next slide, please.
Oh, sorry, Courtney.
It's okay. Okay, so recruiting volunteer help. There's always some older girl troops in the area that may be wanting to earn service hours or a service badge. It's always good to have older girls to come out and help. You can recruit their help to volunteer with girls. And a lot of times some of our smaller girls really enjoy working with the older girls because they have an idea of something to look forward to when they become older Girl Scouts. You can ask your service team members, school staff, if they're available, student groups, and parents from troops within the schools. So we do have a variety of different people that you can go out and recruit to help you during your event. So you don't feel like you have to do these things alone. Next slide, please. So at this time, I don't know if there were any questions in the chat or if you guys want to address.
why don't we move right along to spring re-registration, and then we'll answer any of the remaining questions from the chat at the end. Christina,
Okay.
do you want to?
Really quickly, make sure that you go in and put your name, because I am checking off. So even if it says Nicole Dalton, just make sure you go in and put your name. Thank you.
All right, Christina, you're up with spring re-registration.
I was just chatting away to myself. I forgot to unmute. So one of the challenges of technology, right? Well, I'm back again. You know my name and you know what I do, but I'll be your host again for this session, this breakout session about spring registration. For us at Girl Scouts, spring registration, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Of course, it's spring registration. It's really the best time of the year for our members to get the most value out of their membership with Girl Scouts. It almost feels like Christmas. Next slide, please. Planning for the next Girl Scouts adventure fuels a fire within us to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who make our world a better place. There's a lot going on behind the scenes starting in January to prepare for GSEM's most wonderful time of the year. Next slide, please. It all starts with updates to the troop catalog. Think of this as our spring cleaning for our registration system. This is a great time for TOs to do a wellness check with the troop leaders throughout their school. Through the Troop Opportunity Catalog Survey, troop leaders provide feedback to our council team to reflect the most important information about their troop, such as if their troop is returning, merging, disbanding, and if their troop has openings for more girls. This is valuable information for our TOs that assist with placement of girls that join in the spring. Next slide, please. January through April is our kindergarten recruitment season for pre-K girls and their families that want to launch into Girl Scouts for the summer. TOs have the opportunity to attend a variety of school and community registration events like kindergarten roundups, meet the teacher, and new parent orientations to engage new girls and their parents or caregivers in the Girl Scout experience as soon as April 1st. New members can start participating in programming as soon as May 1st. We never want finances to stand in the way of a girl being a Girl Scout. Financial aid is available for girl and adult extended year memberships. New troops that form in the spring can opt into the Daisy Drop Box as well, with registration of 2 unrelated background checked adults in the leader and co-leader role and 5 girls in the troop. Next slide, please. Starting April 1st through July 31st is our extended year membership. New girls and adults can join Girl Scouts to fill in existing troops or start new troops with an extended year membership for $35. The extended year membership is valid April 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2021. Next slide, please. Spring registration for current members is typically April 1st through April 30th. This membership year's re-registration was extended through June 30th due to COVID-19. Spring registration has many benefits and incentives for our members and service team volunteers. This year's incentives included a troop experience when troops renewed 70% of their troop, a limited edition patch, 15% off a one-time purchase in our Girl Scout shop, $6 troop roundup tickets, and discounted tickets to attend our St. Louis Aquarium family event. Girls that renew in the spring save their spot in their troop and will not fall off the troop roster in the fall. TOs can support spring re-registration by encouraging new troop leaders to talk with their troop about re-registration. Many troops utilize cookie sale proceeds to renew their membership to keep out-of-pocket costs down for families. Additionally, TOs can support by training new troop leaders how to re-register their entire troop and individual families via our website. It's important to note, if the troop leader leaves the troop renewal in the cart but does not complete registration, individual families cannot re-register. They will have to call our answer center for assistance processing their request. Next slide, please. All right. We've got some time for some questions, I believe. Were there any in the chat?
For spring re-registration, there is one. When will we be able to use the 15% discount from the re-registration incentive?
Oh, that's exciting. You are actually able to use that right now to get the 15% off of that individual purchase. There is a banner for curbside that is newly launched. I know that piece came out in the newsletter as well this week for those details. So you are able to utilize that right now, but you will have to call in your order to the Girl Scout shop, and our Director of Retail Services, Stephanie, would be more than happy to help you with that.
And then follow up to that one, when will it expire, the discount?
I believe it expires the end of August. So July and August is when you can utilize that.
Excellent. All right, so I hope everyone enjoyed learning about our breakout session topics and feels more prepared for our upcoming recruitment season. We are now going to answer the rest of the questions, or as many as we can, given our time. We are promising to be out of here by 7 o'clock, so we will go through some of the questions that were asked in the chat. Courtney, our community engagement manager is back from furlough.
Yes, I was on mute. Sorry. Yes, they are back from furlough. Yes.
Excellent.
We are so excited that they are back.
Very excited to be back. Yes.
Christina, when are guidelines going to be available for what troop meetings and recruitment nights will look like after August 1st?
Sure, that's a really great question. All of those guidelines are currently under development right now, so those will be available prior to the opportunity to meet face-to-face again before August 1st.
Great. Courtney, who do they call if they want to set up a virtual meeting for recruitment night, or if they just want to host a troop meeting or a neighborhood meeting?
So right now, if that is something that you would like to do, you should reach out to your CEM, and then your CEM can get you the information and set that meeting up with you. You should just know the date and the time that you would like to have that meeting and reach out to your CEM.
Great. All right, I will take the next one. There's a couple of questions in the chat about the presentation and the recording. So early next week, we are going to be sending out a recap email to all of the troop organizers, as well as the volunteers, some of our neighborhood managers and district managers that have logged in this evening as well. We're going to be sending out the recordings from both this evening as well as the recording from last night. We'll also send out all of the resources for virtual recruitment night. So the slideshow that you saw this evening is going to be available for you to use for your virtual recruitment night, along with a facilitator's guide and an email to help navigate through that process. We'll also have all of the recruitment assets available online. So your sign-in sheets and the parent engagement piece, you'll be able to utilize those online as well as paper forms as well. The next question I'm going to send to Christina. Will April showers be rescheduled?
We are in deep conversation about scheduling April showers. So currently that is under discussion currently. Yep.
Great. And Courtney, when can troops start meeting again in person?
Troops can start meeting again in person beginning August 1st.
Yay!
Yay! Woo.
I got another one. Christina, you're getting all the shop questions. When will the Girl Scout shop be open for leaders to get materials?
So currently we have the curbside pickup. Now a lot of that is really contingent on the building reopening and also local and governmental guidelines about being able to reopen. So we do not have a specific date for the Girl Scout shop to be reopened to the public as of yet, But we do, as I said, we are providing that curbside pickup.
Excellent. Another question in the chat was related to access to troops at your school and when the grades will shift over. So I'm happy to say that right now, if you go on to our Looker software, the grades are updated for what the girls will be going into this fall season. So my daughter, who just finished 3rd grade, is now showing up as a 4th grade junior in our system. So you can go ahead and access those current up-to-date grades right now. Our Looker access is what provides our volunteers an up-to-date list of all the troops in their area, as well as all of the contact information. Those details are in your recruitment playbook. And if you want to have help guide you through the Looker process, please contact your community engagement manager, and they can walk you through how to get connected and how to look for the reports that are going to be most helpful to you as a volunteer. Excellent. Let's see here. I've got another one. Christina, if you want to answer what happens if we can't distribute flyers in person?
Oh, certainly. So as far as distributing flyers in person, the best options would definitely be to utilize Peach Jar. But I would also say work with your school administrators to see what options there are available to get the information out as far as if girls would be interested in attending a recruitment night.
There was a question in the chat about the animal dance party. And even though this is a theme that we have available for recruitment nights, we encourage you to have some sort of animal dance party. If that's not feasible for what you are doing, you don't have to host an animal dance party. That is just the theme of the flyers. As you can see, the virtual recruitment night focuses on the cybersecurity patch, the cybersecurity activity. This is something that is easy to be able to do at home with very little resources available. So many of the items for the cybersecurity activity are things that you can look around your room and find right now, look in the recycling bin for. We wanted to make sure that it was interactive for our girls, but also not going to be cumbersome to our parents or our volunteers going through that, participating in those events. We've got another, some comments in the chat here that they were using the Nextdoor service to also recruit for Girl Scouts. I love the creativity with this. Many subdivisions and communities are part of the Nextdoor group, which is just an online social media app that they can use. So absolutely, we are interested in all and any ideas. Many of your community engagement managers will be bringing together your troop organizers and your neighborhood managers in the area to talk strategy after our school districts make the official announcements on what they are planning to do for this fall season, so that we can all come up with a great strategy for recruitment season this year. All right, a couple of questions here. We've got one in the chat about if we do a recruitment night, how do we get the Dropbox to new leaders? I will answer that in 2 different ways. If it's a traditional recruitment night and you're in person, you're going to hand that Daisy Dropbox directly to that new leader once they have registered that night. So either exchange for a paper form, or they sit down and do the online process along with you. You'll hand over that Daisy Dropbox. You will receive that when you pick up all of your TO materials as the season towards the end of the month. If you're doing a virtual recruitment night, then you will need to work out the details with that new leader. Maybe it's a porch pickup, or maybe it's an exchange somewhere in the community, but you'll still have that physical Daisy Dropbox during recruitment night to be able to hand over. Let's see, there was another question about safety protocols. So those are going to be coming out here within the next few weeks to make sure that all of our girls and adults are staying safe as we approach August 1st and start our in-person troop meetings and recruitment events. All right, I think there might be one more here in the chat. Actually, I think we have answered all of those. So I will stay on for a few more minutes. We're going to end just 4 minutes shy of our 7 o'clock time. So if you think of something and still want to add it in the chat, please go ahead and do so. But we will go ahead and conclude this evening. Thank you for attending training this evening and for your commitment to the vital role at Girl Scouts as a troop organizer. We'll send out a recap early next week along with the recording of this training and additional training videos on the Daisy Dropbox, which Christina had mentioned, and a registration piece as well. And please note that electronic copies of everything that we went over this evening will be available as well. If you have any questions, please reach out to either myself or your community engagement managers, and they will be happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your evening.